The NFL Gambling Podcast, Week 6 morning games, preview and picks edition on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog has added Pick'em Scorchers where you can win up to 100 times your money. That's right, turn 5 into 500 in one game. Plus, every Sunday, they're giving away $100,000. Use promo code SGPN at Underdog Fantasy for a 100% deposit bonus up to $500. We're also brought to you by Manscaped. How about that? Get 20% off, free shipping with the code SGPN, SGP, at manscaped.com. 20% off your free shipping at manscaped.com, promo code SGP. And finally, we're brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, a sports betting research platform, parlays, player props, game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app at hofbets.com and use the promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today.
I'm just about that action, boss.
You have to be kidding me. That is impossible.
I'm raising the ante. Anybody wants me to do it?
Jordan Davis, dog. Jalen Hurts, dog. A.J. Brown, dog. How many of you want to eat a W tonight?
And welcome, everybody, back to the NFL Gambling Podcast, part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Week 6 is here in the National Football League, and you know what that means. We're picking games. We're picking winners. Morning slate and JMark. We've had a good couple weeks going here recently. Look to continue the momentum. But if you're wondering who you're listening to, I am Moneyline Mac, joined each and every episode on the Pick'em Show, on the Recap Show, and you know him from the Old Fashioned Football. He is JMark Football. JMark, let's pick some winners.
Yeah, let's do it. We got a winning record on the year. I am 26-16. You got me by one game at 27-15. I've hit 4-1 on my locks. Your locks, you're taking some bigger ones, so maybe 2-3, but that's all right. Because on
Patriots.
your dogs, you're 3-2, while I'm 1-4. We've been killing our teasers. Our Moneyline round robin parlay, not all three have hit yet, but if you're round robin them, you're winning money because we've hit 2 of the 3 the past 3 weeks. We're going to get one of these that all 3 hit, but still, in a round robin parlay, you take 3 dogs and 2 of them hit, you still win money.
Indeed. Yeah, no, I feel like we've been knocking at the door to hit one of these Moneyline round robin dogs. But yeah, I mean, what's your initial thoughts diving into the slate? We got the Bears and Skins back in the early window, back where they belong. So, we're locked in.
Yeah, that's right. A little disappointed that we're not picking a couple games here like the Jets and Eagles one, the Lions, Bucks. I think those are going to be some good games. Even Rams and Cardinals, if the Cardinals can be as feisty as they have been, could be interesting. But I do like some of these games in the early window. I've already decided. I had given up on the Bears. Now they got me excited again. So I'm so torn. Like, do I continue to fade my team? Do I go with them? I guess we'll see. You guys will find out when I find out.
Oh, yeah. It's a game time decision. I sneak peek, I may take Ron this week. He's back as a dog. And, that's like when I like to back him. But just looking ahead, I mean, what do we got here? We got a London game, and then we got 7 1 o'clock games, 12 of your time in Iowa, 9 or 10 a.m. on the West Coast. Sorry if it looks like I'm playing down here. My charger just decided it doesn't want to work, so I'm trying to multitask. I think I got it. When you are trying to charge your device and the wire's finally wearing down, and you got to get it in the right spot. So I think I got in the right spot. So I'm not going to touch it now until it stops working. If my screen goes black, well, then you got the show, JMark.
I thought you were doing hands of blackjack on the side there. Maybe got an in-house dealer or something.
Dealing down here. But that's enough gibbering and jabbering. Let's talk some football, man, because let's lead it off in London, across the pond one more time. Full disclosure, once again, this is a Wednesday 3:00 Eastern show, which means the injury report is not fully out, which means it's still work in progress. Usually it's actually coming out as we are going live. So if we see something pop up on the old Twitter/X, whatever the hell you want to call it nowadays, I will throw it in there. But as of right now, we see the Ravens laying 4.5. This one has gone to 4, gone to 3.5, back up to 4.5. Ravens coming off game. I don't know how they lost after going back and watching it. Titans kind of got they lost. It ended up close, but I felt like Indianapolis dictated the tempo of the game. These two have had some crazy games over the year. I mean, you think about the playoff games twice. I like the Ravens here in a bounce back. The favorites have been good in London. We finally saw a favorite not win last week, but I think you get an asterisk next to it because the dog had been out there for a whole week prior to the fucking game. So I'm going to back the Ravens and Harbaugh here to get right, get to 4-2. I think they have a better roster than the Tennessee Titans, and I think their wide receivers will actually catch the ball on Sunday over the pond. How about you?
Did you see Rex Ryan go off on that? Talking about why the receivers were dropping the ball, and he was kind of breaking down some of the film. And as a receiver, hands together so you don't drop it. Their hands were apart. Well,
Thank you, Sexy Rexy.
Yeah, apparently before the game, the wide receiver coach was having the receivers catch a rugby ball, which is significantly bigger, and you do have spread fingers and hands while you catch a rugby ball. His thought was if they can catch a rugby ball, they can catch a football. No, they were so used to having their hands spread apart from that rugby ball. That might have been part of the issue. That guy should probably be fired. But I think the main story here is the Titans have been terrible when they're not in Tennessee. They have not been good on the road, and it's just a completely different team. It's weird to see even guys like Derrick Henry, who are studs, they just have not been as good on the road. Now they have to go all the way to London. I don't like the Titans' chances in this game. I wish this wasn't such a big number. I'd like it better at 3, obviously, but I'm still going to ride with the Ravens in a bounce-back game. I think they do better here, and I think the Titans continue to struggle on the road.
They said that Baltimore went out earlier. This is a 3 straight road spot for the Ravens where they played in Cleveland, in Pittsburgh, then they're going out. So they just stayed out on the road, went out to early. I guess Tennessee's traveling tomorrow. So I trust a team that's already going to be out there longer, ready to go, more desperate team it feels like, because they know they got to get this win. Looking at the injury report, Clowney, questionable. Moses, questionable. I mean, they got a bunch of questionables in Baltimore. On the other side of things with the Tennessee Titans, they're not as banged up as the Ravens, but they do have a couple guys on the defensive side of things, Tart and Gifford on the defensive side. But for the most part, Baltimore's probably the most banged up team. But like you said, we're going to trust Harbaugh and those wide receivers actually catch the ball this time.
Yeah, they have to, right? They got to do, because they looked embarrassing with as many drops as they had. I think it was 8. It was embarrassing. Yeah,
no, indeed. So we're laying the chalk here early across the pond. Get your mimosa and Bloody Marys ready. It's going to be a good one. Nothing like a nice game over the pond to start off the NFL action in week number 6. But before we dive into the early afternoon slate, we got to talk about Underdog Fantasy, because it has a way to play alongside your favorite NFL team all along. Underdog has just introduced Scorchers, which means go 5 for 5 and pick them Scorchers and enjoy a spicy. How about that? Spicy 100 times payout. And for a limited time, Underdog is extending the first deposit bonus up to $500. $100,000 Sundays continue on Underdog Fantasy. 10 lucky players can win $10,000 each. JMark, do you have a Underdog play that you want to back in this Thursday night matchup? Are you looking to back Mahomes? Or are you looking to back? I don't think anybody wants to back Russell Wilson. I don't know. What are you on the Chiefs tomorrow with some props? I mean, have you dove into the slate?
I didn't, but I'm looking right now. This is easy. We go Russell Wilson higher than half an interception. Just bank on him looking embarrassing. I like Marvin Mims. I think Mims is good for a big player too. So let's go higher than 17.5 yards. Then on the other side of the ball, let's see. Pacheco has been really good recently. So I'm going to go higher than 13.75 fantasy points. I think he gets in the end zone. And then it's hard to back Travis Kelce because we don't know if he's playing yet. He's questionable, but let's assume he is playing. Let's go higher than 65.5 receiving yards.
Yeah, I Kelce, stay tuned on the injury report. Speaking of injury report, but you can watch alongside, make your picks, and maybe make a little bit of cash over on Underdog's mobile app or website, underdogfantasy.com. And when you use the promo code SGPN, Underdog will double your first deposit up to $500. Underdog Fantasy promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Manscaped. How about that? Manscaped is back in the mix today, who has taken step up from the Balloween. I mean, it's Halloween, Balloween. You know what it is. Bring your face to the cleanest shave it's ever been. So this season, you don't need to toil with all the trouble. Manscaped has what you need. It's the handyman. Best way to get rid of all that stubble. Featuring compact design and next-gen skin-safe technology. The handyman, who is designed to give you smooth finish with the mess of a traditional shave. I know I need to shave. JMark, JMark's got a better beard than I, so I probably should just shave this in. I'll get over to Manscaped to get a couple tools with the handyman. Get the sweetest treat with the Halloween by going to manscaped.com. Promo code SGP for 20% off your free shipping. I like the Manscaped products, especially like I said, got a little goatee action. Got to clean up the sides, clean up the neck hair, so it can look nice and fresh on the screen. But of course, I'm going to go over there to Manscaped because they got 20 different options on their hair cutting lengths, all in one guard. I mean, that's talk about some diversity there. So get over there, get over to Manscaped, the beard hedger. It's a high-tech piece of art that's nice, easy to pack. If you got to hit the road, you got a wedding, although it's disgusting if you're getting married in the fall. That's just sin, and probably you should defriend that person. But anyway, get 20% off your free shipping with the code SGP at manscaped.com. 20% off your free shipping at manscaped.com. Promo code SGP, and look for a sweet as candy. Get yourself a handyman from Manscaped. All righty, we're back on the NFL Gambling Podcast. I just made a nice substitution. Got a backup charger, and it's working. So bad cord, bad apple. Making adjustments over here on the NFL Gambling Podcast. I can't be like Riverboat Ron and just stick in my own ways and just take that ass whipping from the Bears. So, I'm a man of adjustments. But hey, let's enough talking about Manscaped and Chargers, and let's talk a little Riverboat Ron going to the ATL. Falcons laying 2.5. I am pulling up the injury report right now because I want to see who is on it for the Skins, because I know they were a little banged up coming out of the Thursday night. The safety position is a concern. So I feel like this is a close your eyes special, by the way. Underperformed the spread by more than 3 touchdowns, catching points as a dog. We know the trends. It's, I think, undefeated so far this year. I love the Skins here. This is a classic Riverboat bounce back. Never as bad as it seems, and hell is sure never as good as it seems. I think they're able to stuff the run, load the box. Ritter, I know, had a career day last week, but I'm gonna bank he's coming back to the mean a little bit. I think the defense has been challenged all week. I anticipate a high-spirited effort. Their back's against the wall. I will take the more desperate team. Riverboat Ron gets it done again in the ATL. He's also 2-0 as Skins coach against Falcons.
This is kind of a tough one because you got the close your eyes special versus Desmond Ridder, who still hasn't lost at home.
I know.
So it's kind of hard, but I'm going to go with you here. I'm going to back the Commanders. You know, they have the extra 3 days of rest. They've been preparing for this, got over that disappointing loss, and then just been focused on the Falcons, though that's trusting that Ron has gotten the team focused on anything. But I'm going to say he does. I think he likes to show up as a dog. He loves being doubted. That's when the team really shows up, and he seems to coach his best games. And I think they're going to be able to cause some issues here for the Falcons and for Desmond Ridder. I mean, if I'm the Commanders, you stack the box and you make Ridder beat you, right? You don't let Bijan and Algier beat you. You make Ridder beat you. Both these quarterbacks coming off of really good games as far as passing yards. And Howell, for the second week in a row, 2 weeks ago, he tied for most passing attempts. Last week, he led with most passing attempts with 51. Interesting that they're throwing the ball so much. I think they need to get back to the run to kind of right the ship here. I think they do that against the Falcons and cover this. And I think they're a live dog.
I do too. And the only other thing is if Ridder somehow gets hurt and Heineke comes in. So if Heineke comes in, then I'm scared to death. But I do like the matchup. The other thing about the Falcons too, if you're a little scared taking the Skins on the money line, take them with the points because the Falcons, 2 of their 3 wins are by 1 and 2 points. Walk-off field goal against Houston, and then walk-off field goal. Was it a walk-off? I don't know. I can't remember if it was a walk-off, but it was a 1-point victory over the Packers. Seems like every game for them comes down to a field goal, unless, of course, they just get blown out. So,
yeah.
All righty, so we're in agreement, 2 for 2 there. Next up on the slate, we go. Oh, yeah, here we go. Vikings going to Chicago, the Windy City. Bad weather in the forecast. I know that. I know, JMark, you're a weather specialist. Got boots on the ground in the Windy City. Justin Jefferson plays on the IR. Big loss. I think that's the main reason for the line dropping from 3.5 to 2.5. Vikings off the loss against Kansas City. A couple questionable calls down the stretch. Vikings can't buy a close win. Bears coming off a 20-point victory. Was it a dump of Gatorade type victory? I can't take the Bears after they won by 3 touchdowns. I feel like that's got to be an auto fade play. I'm also going to back Kirk in the early window. So I will take the Vikings to win by a field goal. Looking forward to watching this game. I think it's going to be a tight one. Not a lot of confidence.
Yeah, no, as a Bears fan, Jefferson being on IR is huge because he has torched us. But, 20-mile-an-hour winds, 50% chance of rain. It's going to be only 50 degrees, 53, but still low 50s.
Football weather.
Yeah, exactly. Love this weather for the game. Like the wind. And that's going to hinder the Vikings a little bit, I think. I think that passing game is going to be a little shooken up anyways without Jefferson. We'll look for TJ Hawkinson to have a big game against us. But I think the team that runs the ball better is going to win this game. And that's the Bears. They run the ball better, even with Khalil Herbert hurt. We got Fields. We got Roschon Johnson should be back. Donta Foreman will probably make an appearance. I was out on my team. They've put together 2 really good offensive games, and I think they keep it going. I think Fields unlocked something. He started slow last year. He unlocked something, and I think they're going to keep going with that. They're going to keep doing plays that he likes to run. And so let's see if they can let me down again. I'm taking the Bears.
And just when you thought you were out, they pulled you right back in. So JMark is back on the Bears. Roschon Johnson in the protocol. You think he'll be back?
I do. He's had that extra 3 days of rest since they played Thursday. I think only one person in the past year and a half now has when they get concussed in a game, they've come back the next week. However, with those extra days of rest, I think he's going to make it back.
Yeah, and what's the status on Herbert, you think, going forward? Is there a chance he misses the game on Sunday? I know his ankle got banged up in the Skins game Thursday night.
Yeah, I think he's for sure out there, thinking 2 to 3 weeks actually now. Originally, they said it wasn't bad. Now it's sounding like he's going to miss 2 to 3 weeks. I'd keep an eye on that because that might be a thing where they place him on the that short-term IR.
Got it. And obviously so monitor that for fantasy aspect. Go check out the Old Fashioned Football. Justin Jefferson clearly on the Minnesota, the headline. Somehow Nick Mullins is hurt. I don't know when the hell he played, but his back's hurt. I don't know. I'm like looking at the injury report and go, when the fuck did Nick Mullins get hurt? When did he didn't play? I would imagine Kirk's back would start hurting because he's carried this team with that bad defense. I'm looking forward to watching it. I'm just looking forward to seeing the rain come down, windy city. Kirk, you got worlds colliding because Kirk is so good in the early window, but Kirk is also so bad in bad weather. So we're colliding this week. All right, so we're finally disagreeing. JMark, just like that, back on the bandwagon. Bears are going to win the North. They're going to run the table. Everybody else is losing.
That's right.
All right. I don't think that's going to be your lock from the way that you sold it, though.
No, probably not.
Yeah, I sense some more hopeful that they're going to get it done, but you can see it going either way, right?
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, that's how I feel. So, all right, so we are 2 out of 3 in agreeing. We differ on the NFC North. Next up in the slate, a very, very, very intriguing game because you got Seattle, who's coming in a red hot, winners of 3 in a row, off the bye, though, which is always interesting trying to handicap these teams coming off a bye, especially when they're playing better. Cincinnati, they said Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase were done. How about that game last week? They're still running routes on the Arizona Cardinals, still scoring. Oh, so I believe the Bengals have a bye week on deck, and the trend has been good headed into the byes, pulling up the NFL Week 7 byes this year. Teams headed into a bye: Carolina, Cincinnati, Dallas, Houston, New York Football Jets, and the Tennessee Titans. I'm gonna side with the Bengals to make it 2 in a row. I'm gonna fade the Seahawks coming back east, playing well, but I think I'm gonna sell them at the high point here. I'm gonna take the Bengals. I'm buying into what I saw last week. I think they're gonna start playing better and better. I think there's a point of emphasis on this game. Like I said, going into the bye week, let's get to 3-3. Let's get Burrow healthy. Bad weather, obviously, going to be in Chicago, Cincinnati, Cleveland. I'm gonna back the better quarterback. I even though I'm a Geno guy, I'm gonna take Burrow. I'm gonna buy into what I saw last week. Get to 3-3, headed into the bye week. How about you?
This is a tough one because I can see it being a 3-point game. I feel like it's
unbelievable. Yes.
Yeah, it's going to end up as a push, it feels like. But I'm going to go with the Seahawks here. I wrestled with this one. I don't think that Burrow and Chase are going to be able to move the ball against the Seahawks defense like they could the Cardinals. That Seahawks defensive backfield has been pretty good so far this year. And I think they continue to play well. I think they're going to be able to pressure Burrow a little bit more. And I still don't think he's 100% healthy, even though he did look a lot better. He did look like he was throwing the deep ball better. He was moving around a little bit better. Still think he's going to have some aches and pains. And I think they focus too much on just trying to get to the rest for that bye week and get him there so he can get healthy. And the Seahawks surprise him. I think, not to mention, I think the Seahawks, with how the Niners have been playing, and I think the Rams are going to be able to run a couple games here, they got to keep their foot on the gas here. So I'm going to go with the Seahawks with the +3. I don't know if they necessarily win the game. Like I said, it really feels like something that ends in a push, unfortunately, but I'm going to ride with them anyways.
I feel like the last 2 games before this and this game are going to be field goal games either way. So like the Bears, Vikings, the Skins, Falcons, they're all going to come down to the wire. This one's going to come down to the wire. On the injury side of things, like I said, injury report will be out here any minute. Seattle's got a bunch of guys that are kind of questionable, banged up. Nobody real concerns. I know Jamal Adams got a back concussion before the bye week on Monday Night Football. Geno Smith's a little banged up, but he'll be good to go. The big name on Cincinnati is T. Higgins. I don't know if he's going to be able to go, so maybe the Jamar Chase show if you want to back that angle. All right, a little diversity here. I got the Bengals and Vikings. You got the Bears and Seahawks. I like it. and we're both buying into Ron. What could go wrong? Moving moving along in the slate here. Next up, oh my God, this game. So this game, I loved the Browns, but now I don't know who's playing quarterback. I
Right.
somehow Watson's not back. The Niners are coming off a perfect game. That they cannot play any better. Honestly, I think they played about 3 or 4 perfect games in a row. I know they're really fucking good, but at some point they are going to come back a little bit. It's a marathon of a season, and I kind of my stomach hurts saying that I may fade the Niners on Sunday. Yeah, just like I tried to take the Cowboys on Sunday, they said "fuck you" and then just absolutely house them. Bad weather in Cleveland. This is the total letdown spot, and Cleveland's coming is a close drive special too because they got drilled with Dorian Thompson off the bye. They've been thinking about it. They've been pissed off all week in the bye week. I'm going to trust that the Niners, the Browns defensive line can bother the San Francisco offensive line and disrupt them a little bit. I mean, they're talking about Brock Purdy, who is now the front runner for MVP. I mean, I know he's having a good year, but I mean, I proposed it on Monday. I'm like, should we start talking about MVP? And then I scroll into Twitter and I see he's the front runner, and I go, okay, I'm on the Browns because every time somebody's been the front runner for the MVP that week, they have lost. Tua before the Bills, Josh Allen last week before the Jaguars. Whoever's the front runner for MVP always lays an egg. I'm on the Browns. I think the Browns are actually live in this game, but I need Deshaun Watson to play. I'm not gonna. I don't really want to back PJ Walker. I think if you want to bet the Browns, though, you can wait a little bit because nobody's coming in on the Browns this week. Everybody's riding high with the Niners, the unbeatable team. So I'm on the Brownies in the bad weather. Woof, woof.
Yeah, I started writing an article this morning actually on trends for week 6. And at that time, the Niners were only 4.5-point favorites. And then the Watson questionable thing came out. Now it's gone to 6.5. You're going to continue to see that number go up, I believe. And rightfully so. I mean, the Niners have just been a dominant force. And I'm not going to fade that. I'm not going to take the crazy train with you here. Even if Watson plays, this is a guy who's been medically cleared 2 weeks ago and still didn't show up for his team, decided, nah, actually, I'm good. I need to hit up some masseuses. I know I can't play this weekend. And this Niners team, it runs so efficiently. I think that even though the Browns very good on defense, very good at stopping the pass and the run, they've been one of the better defenses limiting yards per game. I just think the Niners scheme that Kyle Shanahan has cooked up, and credit to Brock Purdy, but let's be honest, this is all Shanahan's scheme that has made him look so good. I've seen comparisons to Joe Montana. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
That's what I'm saying. This is a sell high moment. Like, come on. Like the Niners comparisons are getting a little ridiculous right now.
It is. However, in the last 7 games that the Niners have been favored by a touchdown or less, they've covered all 7. I think they continue to do that. I do not like this number if it gets to 7.5, but I like it under 7, and I'm going to ride with the Niners. I think they're just the better team all around, and I think they're very focused, and Brock Purdy, Kyle Shanahan, very good covering the spread, of course. I think that continues. So give me the Niners there as you continue to try to struggle with your phone.
I'm starting to think it's the phone because this is 2 Chargers that all of a sudden aren't working. This ain't good because I got the hotspot on too, so it might go black here any minute. I'll keep playing with it. I'm gonna keep making adjustments. I'm a man of adjustments. Right. So all right, a little more diversity here. We're on different sides, giving the people what they want, multiple opinions. Let's move along to the next one. Next up on the dot. What's that?
You're not going to make this mistake again with the Dolphins, are you?
I might. I hate this game. We got Miami, 13.5-point favorites. Actually came down. So somebody else is betting it. Carolina going to Miami. Carolina's so bad. They got the bye week. I hate this game. I feel like the Dolphins are going to win by 13. Give me the Panthers. Let's go.
All right.
I I usually like backing the teams that haven't won a game yet because they're going to come out focused because they want to win in one game. I thought they got some bad luck in that Lions game with the turnovers, but I don't like Bryce Young either. I don't like what I see from Frank Wright. I don't like what I hear from the owner. I don't like anything, but I'll take the 13.5.
They have yet to cover all year.
I
They
know.
did have one push, but 0-4-1 against the spread. The Panthers are just bad. And as a Bears fan, with their pick, I hope they continue to be bad. I want that number one pick because we'll either turn it into assets or do something with it. But I'm not fading this Dolphins team. They are setting offensive records. They're moving at a historical pace here. Already drawn the comparisons to the the 2000 Rams, the greatest show on turf. They have playmakers all over, whether it's Hill, Waddle. I know Achane is hurt, but I don't think it matters. Mostert and Wilson comes back, going to continue to be good. Tua's making good decisions. We did say if he can stay healthy, this Dolphins team is going to be good. We just questioned his health so far. They've done a great job keeping him upright, limiting the hits. I think they continue to do that. I know you thought that the Giants were going to cover against them last week.
They should have.
Can't believe you're making that mistake again. The Giants are trash, and they're at least better than the Panthers. So I got to ride with the Dolphins here. I think this is another route where it looks like every player, like, how are they having such big chunk plays every single time? This is still professional football, but this team they just have too many fast weapons. You can't stop them. I don't think so. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins here. If one of us is right on a lot of our picks, the other one's gonna have a really bad week.
Or it'll be split like it always is. And look at this. I mean, I got this little gadget going now. We're charging from the backside now. It's no longer through the cord. And as of right now, it's working. So, I mean, man, like I said, man of adjustments, take notes, Riverboat Ron. Maybe I'm stubborn like Riverboat Ron and continuing to fade the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins have Philly on deck. Central look ahead, but the Panthers suck, but I'm still on them. They lose by 10. All right, let's go to the next game. You got to think a lot of people are going to be in the survivor on that one. So on the Dolphins, that is, not the Jaguars.
Yeah.
Next up on the slate, I really like this one because we got Indy coming off the big win, going down to Duval County. Jaguars are laying 4. It was up to 4.5. It opened at 5. You know who's back? Gardner Minshew is back.
Minshew mania.
You know what? You are. We got to talk about Minshew on the other side. Otherwise I'm going to get fired because I'm forgetting to read the ads. I got to get us paid. Hall of Fame bets. You got to go better by going over there to Smarter Bets and this NFL season with Hall of Fame bets, sports betting research platform for player parlays, player research, game lines, research any NFL, NBA, MLB, and soccer bet with historical data. Any parlay of Hall of Fame bets, revolutionary parlay optimizer tool to get hit rates broken down by any leg, as well as expected probability of the entire parlay. And they even break down each leg, so you know the probability, which one could be best. Stop betting in the dark. Join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame bets app. Visit hofbets.com and use the promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame bets. And we're back on the NFL Gambling Podcast, resuming talking about Duval County. All right, so like I said, open at 5.5. We do not have a handicap ever on this or a trend to give out because we've never had a team play back-to-back in London. It's never happened. The teams coming back to London have struggled ATS. They've been trailing in the fourth quarter, I think, in almost every game. Happened last week. The Falcons were trailing. They did find a way to get the win. I'm all over the Colts here, man. This is a great spot. Jonathan Taylor's back. Zach Moss, they're running the shit out of the ball. I know Anthony Richardson is not there. They played in week 1. I thought the Colts were the better team that day. I thought they should have won the game outright. I think if Minshew actually had played that day, they would have won, but it was Richardson's first start. I think now if Richardson plays, Richardson's the better option. But at the time, I thought Minshew was better. I love Minshew here. We've already seen him go on the road to Baltimore, get a win. I'm fading the letdown spot for these Jaguars coming off the Super Bowl win over the Bills. How about you?
Yeah, and it's also really interesting by the organization. The NFL lets you say if you want a bye week once you come back from
Yeah.
London.
I don't
They
know
come
why they
back
didn't
after
choose that.
after 2 weeks in London. Why don't you take some extended rest? That doesn't make sense to me, and I think it bites them in the ass here. I'm with you. I like the Colts here. I think they control the game on the ground with Moss and Taylor, and I think they continue to be a chippy team. Minshew is an experienced veteran. You know, we talked about on the Look Ahead show where he's a guy that he he gets the team believing he can win. He doesn't come in going like, "Hey, we got to keep trying to win some games until the starter's back." He comes in knowing they're going to win, and I think that attitude's a little infectious, and they all feel it. And I don't know if they get the win here, but I definitely think they get the cover. This isn't going to be more than a 3-point game in my opinion, so I'm riding the Colts as well.
Yeah, and the Jaguars have struggled, well noted down there in Jacksonville. You think about the Carson Wentz game, but you know who else they had struggled with? They had struggled with the Titans, and they found a way. New regime here with Steichen as a head coach, not Frank Reich anymore. Hey, I'm with you, man. I if they don't get the game, I think they at least cover the number 4.5, whatever you can get it at. Get that. I think this thing closes at 3. Get it before it gets to a field goal because this is going to be a field goal game. So I'm with you. Colts are live dogs in this one.
Agreed.
All righty. Next up on the slate, we are going to. This game. This number's come down. Saints coming off the Bill Belichick funeral game, Mac Jones funeral game, 34-0. Saints are laying 1 in Houston. Houston, tough loss last week, but Houston's been feisty the last couple weeks. I'm selling them this week. I think I'm taking the veteran defense. I've been really impressed with New Orleans defense. I thought the Bucs game was kind of an outlier with the way that they rushed that back Derek Carr. It was a weird game with the turnovers. They should have won in Green Bay. They dominated New England. They should be 4-1 at least. I think they're the better team, the more experienced team, and I'm getting them -1 at Houston. I think CJ Stroud's been good, but another week of film on him. I think I trust Dennis Allen, the defensive Dennis Allen, to scheme up some things on the defensive side to contain this offense. I think I like the rushing attack right now with Alvin Kamara, Taysom Hill when they throw him in. I like the receivers on the outside. I'm on the Saints to finish this road trip 2-0.
Yeah, no, I agree with you here. I think Tank Dell coming out of that game kind of lost some of Texans' ability to stretch the field, and he's concussed. I don't think he's going to play this week either. So I think that limits them. And like you said, the Saints are getting that run game going. Even Kendre Miller getting involved last week and looking good. I know that's because it was a blowout, but still, they're a team that can run the ball well. And I think that's how they control this game. And their defense is going to pressure Stroud. This may be the first week that Stroud throws his interception. I think they get enough pressure on him that he makes a mistake here. Almost threw one last week, but it was dropped. So I think this is the one that gets him, unfortunately. I've been very impressed with him. Like I said, we thought this team was a little too feisty for the talent they had. I think they're still building and they're still going to be trending up, but it's not going to be this week. So yeah, I like taking the Saints when you only have to lay a point. I absolutely love that play.
This is lock-worthy, to be honest.
Sure.
I think this is an overreaction. I could see Houston becoming the public dog this week that's got some fleas. I'm with you. I think they come back down to earth a little bit. Sorry, Moonoff. So we're both on the Saints. Looking ahead to the injury report, I feel like the Saints always have injuries. Checking in. All right, Tank Dell did not practice today. Going to be questionable Sunday. Probably need him if they want to be able to have a shot to move the ball in that really good defense. For the Saints, they always got a bunch of guys questionable. Nobody huge. I love the Saints here. All right, JMark, locked up tease time for this beautiful 7-game slate on Sunday early afternoon with the London Splash. Where you want to go for your lock?
Yeah, I know you're against this one, but give me the 49ers, 6.5 points. I think they continue to be a dominant team, and I feel like they're the best team in football right now. They're going to continue to show that against the Browns with Watson or not. So give me the Niners.
Yeah. All right. For my lock, I'm gonna go the Colts, man. Keep this within a field goal. It's gonna be a tight game. It's gonna come down the wire. Minshew, revenge angle. I think they got a chance to win it outright. So give me the Colts as lock. Keep that thing rolling, baby. All they do is lose close games when they lose, too.
Yeah. For sure.
For your dog.
I hate doing it, but I'm doing it. Give me the Bears. Get that win at Soldier Field. Kirk Cousins not playing well in that 20-mile-an-hour wind gusts. The Bears playing well by running the ball. Their defense took a step up last week. I think they continue to play with that feistiness. So, yeah, give me the Bears again. We'll see if they can't let me down one more time.
You know where I'm going, right?
Oh, yeah.
Riverboat Ron, 3-3, baby. Bounce back. They're
go.
getting it done. Handing Desmond Ridder his first loss. Never as good as it seems. Never as bad as it seems. Back Ron as a dog. Fade him as a favorite. I'm all over this. Let's go Skids. 3-3. Going to get the win in the ATL. Plus 125 on the money line. All right, let's go. Let's get a money line round robin. Which ones did we agree on? Did we both agree on the Skins?
Yeah.
All right, so we got the Skins in there. Plus 125. Colts. There we go. Oh, yeah, this is hidden. No to the Broncos. No to the Panthers. Let me give you one. Patriots.
Finally bounce back.
I mean, they're playing the Raiders at a close your eyes special. That has to be a win, right?
That's what we said last week, but
I know.
I like them there too. I think they get the job done.
Okay. Because, I mean, we don't like the Cardinals. Do you like the Bucks?
No.
Okay. The Giants at the Bills. Dayball.
The Dayball revenge. No.
All right. So the one we agree on, we got Riverboat Ron. We got the Indianapolis Colts, and we got Belichick to finally bounce back. It's 13-1. So this one's hitting. I guarantee it. I feel it. I feel it.
I like it.
I skipped the
You
tease,
forgot
by the way.
teasers.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm all over the place. Tease, where you going?
Give me Dolphins down to 6.5. Saints to +5. Let's work on this last one here. I'm going to go Colts +10. It's going to be a close game.
I was going to say the Colts. Skins 8.5. My God, if you lose by more than a touchdown, the Falcons, this season's over. And then give me the Bears +8.5. Cross those key numbers of 3 and 7. Yeah.
When they win straight up, that's an easy hit. So.
Oh yeah, I know, no doubt. I was tempted to go Titans +10.5, but I mean, I don't know. The Titans have gotten drilled in a couple spots this year, so
yeah.
All right, well, that concludes this edition. 13-1 money line round robin. To recap, we got the Riverboat Ron, the Skins. We got the Indianapolis Colts and Bill Belichick with the ultimate back to your wall, being outscored 69-3 in the last 2 games?
Yeah.
Can't get any worse, right? All right. Well, go check out JMark over at the Old Fashioned Football. What you guys got going on over there?
Yeah, Thursday we do our start sits. We're going a little bit early this week. We'll be at noon because it's the guy we see in the chat a lot, Mr. Fortune. It's his birthday tomorrow.
There we go.
Be hanging out, drinking some whiskey with him. So, yeah, check us out at noon. But otherwise, Mondays, waivers, Thursdays, start sits, and always whiskey.
Always whiskey. I owe you a bottle. The Bears won.
Yeah, there you go.
Even though you didn't want to bet it because you had no faith. I'll send you a bottle in the mail. Yeah, get over there. Check out the Old Fashioned Football. Shout out to Nick Fortune in the chat. Good dude. Always here repping the NFL Gambling Podcast. You can find me at Moneyline_Mac. Doing college basketball previews. We got college football going on, the Big 12. We got a little bit of everything. Go check out the main show. I know those guys go live every night, 11:30, to preview the upcoming slate. So that will be tonight, 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 out west. And go check out the rest of the guys on the NFL Gambling Podcast. I know the prop show is going on right now with Moonoff and Rod. Scott and Terrell will have the afternoon, then Moonoff and Lante for the Monday night show. So check them all out. We got it going on the NFL Gambling Podcast. Turn on your notifications because we go live every Sunday morning as well, about 10:30 Eastern. So good luck with your bets, everybody. Skins and Bears going to get a win this weekend. Let's go. So we will see you guys Monday for the recap show, and let it ride.